So here we have our new NCERT book, and today we are going to start this, and we are going to do the understanding the social science. So as I said, in grades 6 to 8, we explored social science, uh, many social science stuff through stories of people, places, and events. But now in grade 9, we are in with bigger class. So we will understand what social science truly means and why it matters. Of course, social science matters and how it matters. Social science is a systematic study of a human society. So if you are a human, then that systematic study of you is social science. So it's not just social studies, it's a science. It's certified by science. It's certified by sociologists and psychologists. So it's a science, not a study. And yeah, we have shifted. If some of you know that we have shifted from social studies to social science, but still we use SST, not SSC. It not only tells what happened or where things are located, but it explains why events occur, how people live together, how environment influence life, how government functions, how economies operate, how the past and the present together shape the world. If you don't know how to vote, then how you are an Indian citizen and how you are a citizen and how you are a responsible citizen, you can say. While subjects like physics, chemistry, biology study the natural world, social science focuses on society, in institutions, cultures, and human interactions. It helps us to understand not only what happens in our social world, but also why it happens and how different aspects of life are interconnected. Now, over here, you can see that physics, chemistry, bio, yeah, this is these are the parts of science. But if we talk about social science, it focuses on society, institutions, cultures, human interactions. So this is what is social science focuses on. It focuses that how people are connected. It focuses that how people were connected in the past. It focuses how the economies operated in the past, present, and how will they in future. It studies how the earth was in the past and how is it in the future and how is it now. Let's think about your daily life. So we will talk about social science in everyday life. Let's think about a day in your life. You wake up in a house built with source material from different places, obviously. Like, for example, if you are living in Delhi, then your bricks can come from Bhiwani or somewhere else. So the bricks can be from somewhere else. For example, you live in the south. Your bricks can come from anywhere that is in the south. So yeah, this uh, house built materials are sourced from different places. The food you eat may come from various regions of the country. Yeah, the food you eat can come from the various regions of the country because we see that pineapples are there in the northeast. Like more pineapples are there in the northeast and they're fresh. So that pineapples are carried over to Haryana, North India, South India, so on. That's why the food can vary. the food can vary, but it's not always that it varies. Sometimes you are eating the food of your district itself. Before it reaches your plate, it has been harvested, processed, transported, bought, and sold through the efforts of many people. Obviously, it's a long journey. First, someone would harvest it, then it would go to the processor, then that processor would transport it, and then it goes to the middleman, and then it goes to the customer. So if the object over here would be 1 rupees, for example, it would be like kind of 20 rupees to the customer because each one of them earns profit. But if you take directly from the transport, from the processor, then it would comparatively cost less. So this would was a talk of economics. So now we have even simplest daily activities rely on systems of governance, economic production, social cooperation, and natural environment. So these all things you can see why some villages are crowded, why some communities speak different languages, why some regions depend on farming, do governments make decisions and that affect millions of people, which regions are more prone to floods, agriculture flourish in some regions but not in others, why the climate influence our lives. So these all things show that history, geography, institutions, resources, human choices, it shaped it shaped the human society. Now we have over here you can see there's a cute activity. Your surroundings, observe your surroundings, okay, and identify a change that has been taken place in your locality over the past 5 years. It could be related to transport, housing, technology, education, or the environment. Discuss in groups what was the situation earlier, what has changed, what might have caused this damage, caused this change, and how it affected people's life. So, I'm currently living in Gurugram. So, Gurugram, now if I talk about Gurugram, so earlier there was no, there was very less there was very less housing. There was kind of no or less technology. And what has changed? Technology, housing, and the environment has changed because of so much pollution. Next, we have what might have caused this change. I think the change in the government, and we can say change in the time caused this. How has it affected people's life? People's life को कैसे affect किया? First, there can be advantages, there can be disadvantages. Advantages are like people are more connected, there are more houses to stay in, and because of that, new companies are coming in and settling in. And what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is that it affects more population affects the environment in different ways. More population gives more carbon dioxide as compared to other states. So it can lead to various diseases such as asthma, tuberculosis, and all. Your daily experiences and the changes you observe around us shows how social science builds connection between places, people, systems. So it's a story rather than a separated pieces, you can say. Now, over here, understanding society through time and traditions. We all know that in earlier days, people were living in kings kings and queens were there. So it was like divided into three parts. Accordingly, That first was the um, first was past, then middle, then modern. So this was like the sequence. First there was early, middle, and modern. Yeah, this was the sequence. Now, if we talk about early India, so over there were very civilizations. People lived in communities. People were settling down in this down the Indus. Okay, and then if we talk about middle, then in middle we had Akbar and all these stuff. Then we had kings in the middle one. In the modern one, we had Britishers who ruled over India for 200 years. And yeah, so after that, the period right now is the present. So this is how time changed, how India changed, traditions changed. If we talk about the past, maybe the story of the Ramayana in the early India would be like kind of different from this. Maybe today it's a bit fictional. Maybe it would be, real. It could be real, but but we do not have the, proper. We have the proof, but we don't have the proper proof, if I say so. So that's why still we call that as a mythology, but we have kind of some proofs that prove that Ramayana was real, but not that much. So we can't say it properly. Early human communities depended on directly on nature. With time, people learned to grow crops and domesticate animals. So this is how it settled. Cultural exchanges gradually formed, like the Christianity from Britain came to India. So many other religions came to India, and besides then more religions came, Christianity came, and many other. Though they were in less quantities, but still we can say yeah, it came. Spirit inquiry has deep roots in India's knowledge tradition. Early thinkers valued decision, questioning, and logical reasoning to understand the world. Knowledge was explored through observation, reflection, and dialogue. For example, if we talk about the Pancha Mahabhutas describe the natural world as an interconnected system in which human life is embedded. अगर हम बात करें एक पंचाभूता पंचाभूता क्या है पंचाभूता एक इंडियन फिलोसफी से एक वर्ड आया है एंड उसका मतलब ये है कि ये जो वर्ल्ड है ना इट डिस्क्राइब्स द नेचुरल वर्ल्ड जैसे जो हमारे 5 एलिमेंट्स है लेट मी एक्सप्लेन इट नाइसली so we know that earth has 5 elements. Our world has 5 elements. We are composed of 5 elements. First is earth, that is Prithvi, water, that is Apaha, fire, that is Agni, air, that is Vayu, space, that is Akasha. And these five together form the natural world. And when we talk the word together, it comes like interconnected system. अगर हम टुगेदर बोलेंगे टुगेदर मतलब एक साथ इंटरकनेक्टेड का भी मतलब टुगेदर ही होता है कनेक्टेड हो जो चीजें वो इंटरकनेक्टेड होगी ऑब्वियसली नाउ वी हैव ह्यूमन इन विच ह्यूमन लाइफ इज एम्बेडेड अब इन चीजों से बन के ह्यूमन लाइफ gradually formed so yeah this panchabhuta idea was real. It explains the natural processes of the human body, the relationship between the environment and the living beings. It helps explain how environment influences settlements, patterns, occupation, agriculture, and many other things. An idea that remains relevant as societies respond to environmental challenges. So it explains, ये जो word है ये बताता है कि कैसे सोसाइटी एक जगह पे हर जगह पे थोड़ी बहुत कनेक्टेड है किन चीजों से इन पांच फंडामेंटल एलिमेंट्स से ठीक है whether it's food habits health practices occupations, architecture, these all are connected. Similarly, the idea of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, Vasudevaya Kutumbakam, meaning the world is one family, it is also correct. Why it's correct? Because it can be that there were two when the earth started. There were like kind of very less families. Let's imagine there were two. Then these two split and they form many other. Then these two split, and then. So it splitted accordingly. So if we say the world is one family, it is actually quite true because all of us match a bit. Not that much, but we match a bit. Vasudevaya Kutumbakam, meaning the world is one family, expresses the interconnectedness of human societies across regions and cultures. Though these regions came afterwards, but yeah, this idea of Vasudeva Kutumbakam is still followed by many philosophical researchers and many others. In fact, I also agree with this. Early reflections on the governance in India also linked political authority with public welfare and ethical responsibility. Now we know Arthashastra that is written by Kautilya. So that it was 2300 years ago and उसमें क्या था उसमें एडमिनिस्ट्रेट कैसे करते हैं उसमें इकोनॉमिक मैनेज कैसे करते हैं टैक्स कैसे लेते हैं duties of the rulers, duty of the ruler, duty of the people, duty of any other living being. So this was Arthashastra. So it told told about many other things, like it told about economic management and all of these, and that all these things comes under the political stuff and the economic stuff. So we can say that Arthashastra was also accordingly offered. This way, social science explains what endures, what changes, showing how the past shapes the present and showing how today's actions influence the futures. If you will cut the trees in future, you will have no oxygen. So this statement, ये जो statement है, ये statement बताती है कि yeah, right now it's very important to preserve trees. And अगर हम बोलते if India had learned weapons, more weapons at the time of kings or queens, and British India never came to India. We can say Britishers never came to India. So the situation right now would be different. So the situation right now would be very, very different. That whole of the Indian history would have been changed. Maybe till now we would be living under different regions. For example, Rajasthan would be different, Kerala would be different. So it would be like another new country. And that country would have been ruled by some kings or some queens. In fact, some can even get in the dungeons of dictatorship. Now we have social science as a study of disciplines. So human society बहुत complex है as we know. बहुत ज़्यादा complex है. but no single field of study can fully explain it. एक सिंगल अगर हम ले, जो हमारा है सोशल साइंस, वो इतने पार्ट्स में क्यों है? वो इतने पार्ट्स में इसलिए है बिकॉज ह्यूमन सोसाइटी इज वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स. टू अंडरस्टैंड ईच सेक्टर we have different ways. To understand such situations, we must examine from different perspectives. Therefore, social science is not just one single subject, it's a group of related disciplines, and that discipline focuses on each different life. We have अब हमारा जो ग्रेड है 9 to 10, इसमें जो सोशल साइंस है इट प्राइमरी कम्स फ्रॉम 4 कोर डिसिप्लिन. इसमें 4 कोर डिसिप्लिन से आता है. और वो 4 कोर डिसिप्लिन क्या है? वो 4 कोर डिसिप्लिन है. ओके, या सो वो 4 कोर डिसिप्लिन है: ज्योग्राफी, हिस्ट्री, पॉलिटिकल साइंस एंड इकोनॉमिक्स. अब हम अगर बात करें तो अदर डिसिप्लिन भी हैं हमारे पास: सोशियोलॉजी, फिजियोलॉजी, एंथ्रोपोलॉजी, साइकोलॉजी. ये जो है ये सोशल साइंस के बॉर्डर लाइन. ये क्या है? ये क्या है? सोशल साइंस के बॉर्डर लाइन. ओके, सो नाउ वी हैव also form the part of broader social science family. अब ये जो है ये भी broader part form करते हैं. अब आता है हमारे पास each discipline asks different questions. We already know this. Now we have geography. Geography studies the location, distribution of the people. अगर हम बोलें कि ये हमारी अर्थ है तो ये कैसे बना माउंटेन यहाँ? ये माउंटेन के नीचे कितने जगह पर पानी है, वाटर है. ये इसके नीचे मुहावरे को डिसकंटिन्यूटी है कि नहीं है? ठीक है. और ये यहाँ पे जो लोग रहते हैं ये कैसे रहते हैं, ये इन्फ्लुएंस किस तरह से हुआ है इसको? ये जो मेन अब आता है हमारे पास अगली थिंग, that is let's explore. So with the help of NCERT Schools Bhuvan portal, you can also map your own village or city. You can access and explore NCERT's School Bhuvan portal by visiting this website, and you can just check it out if you want. Over the 2 years, next 2 years, you will study the processes that shape Earth's surface, atmosphere, climate, major biomes, India's bioreserve centers, history. Now, if we talk about history, history is the study of past. हमें पता है स्टडी ऑफ पास्ट के अंदर हमेशा डेट्स ही नहीं आती. स्टडी ऑफ पास्ट के अंदर हम देखते हैं कि कैसे हमारा पास्ट था, कैसे महात्मा गांधी ने किया था आंदोलन, कैसे रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर ने बनाया था अपना गाना, कैसे चेंज हुआ हमारी सोसाइटी में, किसने चेंज किया, क्यों चेंज किया, क्या डिफिकल्टीज थी उस समय. One of the oldest and most influential traditions of preserving cultural memory in Bharat is the इतिहासा पुराना ट्रेडिशन. इतिहासा पुराना ट्रेडिशन है, एक ट्रेडिशन है. लेट मी जस्ट शो यू व्हाट इज दिस ट्रेडिशन. I'm unable to show it right now. Maybe I could show it at the last or somewhere else. Through stories, this tradition not only shares historical information but it also gives cultural meaning to events and people. अब हमें पता है ये कल्चरल मीनिंग भी देता है, ये कल्चरल मीनिंग भी देता है पीपल को आई मीन. सो in doing so, it reinforces enduring ideals and values. Here, over here, so now I can search. Sorry for the delay. द इतिहास पुराना ट्रेडिशन ये कोर्नस्टोन है हिंदू कल्चर का। और इसके अंदर इंडिया वाइन ये जो है ये मिक्स करता है, ये कनेक्ट करता है माइथोलॉजी, फिलोसफी एंड हिस्ट्री को through epic narratives and ancient texts like Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavata Purana, Vishnu Purana, sorry, the spelling. And this is also referred as the fifth Veda. So right now we are only having fourth Veda, but Itihasa Purana tradition ko we can address as the fifth Veda, and it serves as a historical record that documents the past events while describing the dharma. So now we have the next stuff, that is modern historiography. By contrast, increases relies on empirical evidence. Empirical evidence sounds like a very heavy word, but it is actually not. Observation of or experiment, information collected by actual observation of experiment. अगर जो एक actual information तुम एक research कर रहे हो and that uses tools such as human genetics, carbon 14 dating, archaeology, other scientific methods to establish timelines and understand the past. So, this is empirical evidence. This is the information that is collected by you, and that is actual, and that is collected by observation, or it can be done by experiments. Now, if you observe, for example, if you go on a place, there's a new place. You see houses that are burned down severely, and you see many other things that are there. So, what you will say? You will say that it could be an ancient civilization over here, or you can say that there could be an ancient building over here, or you can say there was a building that burned down. Simple. So, that was the observation. Now you will collect more evidence, you will collect more experiments, you will do experiments, and then you will find out that it was kind of a civilization. So that is empirical evidence, and that evidence uses tools. History writings draws on a wide range of sources to understand the social realities of the past. It draws to a variety of things. In chapter 1 of class 8, old NCERT, if you see. I'm not telling about the old, I'm not telling about the new, I'm telling about the old NCERT. Sorry for the blubbering. So, old NCERT tells in the chapter 1 that we used how we can study all these things. We used travel logs, we used memoirs, we used correspondence, we used folklore, we used oral traditions, we used revenue documents, we used, documents of the British India. So whatever they produced, as British India loved to write, they thought that everything, every new thing, every case, every writings should be kept, should be written, and it should be stored. In fact, in 1800s, telegraphist people आते थे वो लोग, and that वो write करता था. So yeah, these were the things. And we also used genealogical records. Now, what is this? Documents or sources that trace family lineage. ये जो है ये फैमिली lineage मतलब ancestry, मतलब हमारे ancestors कौन थे, इनके बीच में डॉक्यूमेंट करता है इवेंट्स such as births, marriages or deaths. आजकल ये वीडियोस आती हैं कि पांडव की फैमिली स्टिल अलाइव, या फिर वी कैन से अकबर की फैमिली स्टिल अलाइव. सो ये सारी चीजें जो हैं ये इन्हीं रिकॉर्ड से आता है, वी कैन से. Over the next 2 years, you will study about early human history, And you will also including the Jericho-Roman world, Reformation, the Renaissance, Enlightenment, and Industrial Revolution. So मतलब इतनी सारी चीजें we are going to study. Now we अब हम तुम्हें दिखाते हैं literally resources. ये कुछ ऐसे resources हैं जिनमें archaeologists ने find out किया है एंड ये है सामावेदा स्क्रिप्ट मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट ये एक मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट है एंड ये नेशनल म्यूजियम न्यू दिल्ली में सो मे बी यू कैन चेक इट आउट बट एक्चुअली म्यूजियम कौन जाता है cause some people find it boring but actually it's quite interesting to see old things like over here you can see that how they used to write. Over here, you can also see the same thing, and you can see more archaeological sources. How they, you can see the terracotta, terracotta, terracotta stuff over here, terracotta model, and you can see from the Hindu Saraswati civilization. Saraswati Hindu civilization से आप ये देख सकते हो. But it is also over there. So you can see other things that have been evacuated. अब आता है ये स्कल्पचर ऑफ विष्णु फ्रॉम द 12th सेंचुरी. सो मतलब इतने पुराने जमाने से हम विष्णु जी को मानते हैं. इमेजिन. सो इट्स काइंड ऑफ वेरी सरप्राइजिंग टू सी एंड लर्न दो सम पीपल फाइंड इट बोरिंग. Epigraphic resources. Epigraphic resources. Now you can see over here, these are epigraphic resources. This is the Brahmani expression inscription that was uh, refined by James Prinsep. और ये जो ब्रह्मी है ये अशोका की स्क्रिप्ट थी एंड इसको जो आइडेंटिफाई किया था इसको जो डिकोड किया था वो जेम्स प्रिंसेप ने किया था and that was a British guy. And on the part of pillar that belonging to the Gupta period, ये गुप्ता पीरियड से बिलोंग करता है. ये कन्नड़ा इंस्क्रिप्शन है. ये कृष्ण देव राय की है. So you can just imagine like wow. And it is at underground Shiva temple at Prasanna Vishnu, and that is in Hampi. So Hampi is kind of in south here. So we have over there we have find this. Now you can see over here coin issued by Samudragupta Maurya in 4th century CE. Over here you can see the Mughal coin and that this is in the reign of Jahangir and it shows the zodiac sign. It shows the zodiac sign. Now we have political science. Political science is the study of governance. It's the study of governance. It informs how power is distributed, how policies are made, Panchayati Raj system, and the study of politics in India began very early. We know about Arthashastra, we know about Dharma, we know about Artha, we know about Raj Dharma. So these all texts belong to this only. Indian political thought is further articulated with the works Mahabharata, Shukaranarti, which addresses the government, law, and ethical leadership. So ये सब चीजें ये जो है पॉलिटिकल साइंस की तरफ इशारा देती हैं that पॉलिटिकल साइंस अभी से ही नहीं पहले से भी थी. Indian political thought adopted holistic approach linking politics with economics and social life. तो इससे हमने लिंक कर दिया है उसे. That's why it is a bit different. अब आता है economics. Economics helps us understand how individuals and societies decide to use limited resources and meet their needs. How to buy things. We know about producers, consumers, government, taxes, how the government introduces the taxes and all. So economics में मैंने वो इकोनॉमिकल की चेन बताई थी आपको. एक चेन थी जो कंज्यूमर्स और मिडिल मैन को इंक्लूड करके थी. दैट कम्स अंडर द इकोनॉमिक्स. नाउ वी हैव India has a rich, dynamic economic history. For centuries, it was one of the world's leading economies and important center of many many things. After independence, हमारे पास सब चला गया था, and we had to rebuild our economy, and this is a bit difficult. But we have done it somehow. Uh, ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट, जीडीपी, इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड, यूनिट बजट, ये सारी चीजें हमारे लाइफस्टाइल को चेंज करती है, इफेक्ट करती है. हाउ वी शुड स्टडी द सोशल साइंस, हाउ वी शुड स्टडी, हाउ वी शुड एक्सप्लोर. नाउ व्हेन यू in the house you live in, the water you use, the roads you travel on, even the digital spaces that you are part of. Social science helps us understand how these developed and how these work and how these change. So you have to ask questions such as why, how, and you have to keep on questioning yourself that what happened if this happened. So this way you will get the more knowledge about social science. And this is a very nice way to understand social science. You do not need notes. You just need your book, your brain, and your question making power. So you can even write over here, over this space, over this space, over the line. This space is for important points that this book has lost. इस बुक में नहीं है. ठीक है. अब आता है फ्यूचर ऑफ सोशल साइंस. In the years ahead, social science will help societies address complex issues such as climate, sustainable development. अब हमने जो SDG goals, if you don't know, SDG goals ऐसे 30 goals है, I mean 17 goals है वो. अब वो हमें 2030 तक हमें वो अचीव करने हैं, 2030 तक. और उसको उसके अंदर सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स, ठीक है, एंड इसको और उन्हें बोलते हैं SDG goals, and India is also the part of it. So let us see till 2030 India is able to achieve those goals or not. Now your 2-year learning journey, so it's telling that what you will study. You will study geography, history, political science, and you will study more about that. So in the next video, we are going to talk about shaping of the Earth's surface of this chapter. Until then, keep your thinking caps on and keep thinking and writing.